You are now watching Syrus Speaks.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Syrus Speaks. I am your host, Syrus. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about God's pandemic plan. And look, I know it's been a little minute. It's been a couple weeks since I've been able to record. I took a little hiatus, so I can get some personal things squared away, but I'm back, better than ever. And I just, want to speak to y'all about some of the things that I really think are, the real reasons as to why this whole pandemic situation has taken place. So essentially, everybody knows that, the pandemic has put a major damper on a lot of aspects of our lives. It's put a lot of people's lives in jeopardy. Unfortunately, a lot of people have actually lost their lives due to the virus itself. And what I really think is the ultimate plan behind the whole situation and crisis that's taking place is God really just wanted to get everybody's attention. God wanted to make people focus back on the things that are more important in life. I feel like the whole world had gotten such a rat race, feeling like, we just got to pursue money, pursue all these grandeur goals and objectives, to where we kind of lost sight of what this whole experience of life is really about. And ultimately, this experience is about interacting with one another. It's about love. It's about exploring the possibilities. It's about developing as a person and understanding more from multiple angles. And this whole journey that we've been on as a species, it's been nothing more than just that. But we've got to a point to where we allow technology, we've allowed, media, the ideals that us as a collective society has put on in the individual to kind of transform and take more control of our lives. And I just feel like this has been the biggest wake up call that we ever could have had as a species. This made the whole world stop. It made everybody, observe things from a different angle, and this impacted everybody. From your lifestyle, from your finances, from your employment, governmental changes. This has impacted everybody worldwide. And something that big, there has to be some divine purpose behind it. I want to elaborate on what I'm really trying to say. I really feel like this has been a time where people need to, or should have, really started paying more attention to spending time with family, spending time with friends, spending time with themselves, finding out who they really are. We're not here on this earth to just work for somebody all day, every day, until we're so old we can't even do anything anymore, and then we just die. That was never God's plan. There's so much more that we're supposed to be exploring. You know, we're supposed to be figuring out how to get along with one another and reach that ultimate level that humans have the capability of reaching. Is somewhat of a nirvana mind state where we can interact in peace and live in harmony amongst society and amongst nature. That's the ultimate goal. Even to this, like, bring it back to like just a typical level when you talk about how the pandemic has impacted things. It's funny because a lot of people right now are just like, yo, I'm ready for things to get back to normal. I'm ready to, go back to, clubbing all the time. I'm ready to go back to being in the bar and then being jumping. I'm ready to like, do all these things that's like kind of taken away from your whole life experience. And it's like when people talk about let's get back to normal, I often wonder like what normal are you talking about? Because that's no longer here. I think we should focus a little bit more on creating a new normal. You know, I mean, because this whole thing is really impacted us on so many levels, man. Like people's mind states have been completely altered, based on just social distancing and not being able to be around people on a day-to-day basis. Maybe we need to focus a little bit more on how we interact with one another, how we treat one another, how we treat ourselves as well. I don't think we focus enough on that, and when it comes to the dynamics of like just spending so much time doing things that are really just wasteful, we need to figure out a new way to approach our lives. Is spending all our time doing like entertainment things really going to be productive in the grand scheme of things? Like when we look back on our lives, are we going to think about like the concerts that we went to? Are we going to think about the money that was spent in the club? Are we going to think about all the bottles we popped? No, we're going to think about, dang, I wish I could have made more of an impact on the world to come. I wish I could have created a bigger legacy for my offspring, and just seeing what I could do to help, further them along. Maybe I should have explored, some different hobbies. Maybe I should have invented something. These are the things we really need to be taking our time out to figure out, and folks are running around like trying to figure out like, why is it that the pandemic's still going on? It's been almost 2 years now. Like it's enough is enough. And it's like, yo, like y'all haven't learned the lesson yet. Until we sit down and really figure out what we need to do as a collective, as human beings, I don't think this thing is going anywhere. This, to me, it's more of a spiritual battle at this point than anything. We're still struggling with racism. We're still struggling with classism. These are things that have just been, dampering society for thousands of years. And it's like, yo, we will never be able to evolve until we get past those hurdles, and stuff like this is just going to keep happening until we get to that point, because it's holding us back. Who knows? Like maybe if we was, able to interact on a certain level where we can come to a consensus on how we should approach fixing this thing and solving it, maybe we'd be able to, get to a solution and it can actually dissolve. But until then, I feel like it's just gonna keep ramping up, because today is COVID. Tomorrow we don't know what's gonna happen. Nuclear disaster, world war. These are things that we're really on the heels of right now. And ultimately it's like, yo, like God trying to send us a message, man. Like I know, the whole get money thing, that's cool. I'm a big advocate of get money, but it's just like, yo, there's certain things money can't buy. Like fame, like that's another thing that everyone's so focused on now. This whole, hyper social media, time that we're living in. Everyone's trying to become famous. Everybody's trying to get attention. It's like, yo, like, what if you just start paying more attention to the things that need to be looked at versus trying to get attention? There's a lot of stuff we need to focus on, man. I feel like we're missing the ball. There's some questions that need to be answered right now, man. And until we really try to focus and figure out those answers, man, we're gonna keep having problems. So, I know it's kind of heavy, man, but I wanna put that on y'all mind for just a second, man. Maybe y'all really think about that, and try to explore some of those possibilities and just figure out, like, you know, where we need to take it, you know, like where we need to go, you know, and figure out the solutions, man. You know, as a collective, you know, this ain't even uh, something that's just impacting one culture, man. This is everybody. You know, we're gonna have to work together on this one. You know, and it starts with you, person that's watching this right now. It starts with you. You know, it starts with me too. I'm not excluding myself. I mean, it's a lot of things that I need to do. You know, but being aware is it's the beginning of every solution. You know, so I'm gonna leave that with y'all today. I hope that touched some people. You know, hope I was able to inspire some minds. And hope to holler at y'all next time and, you know, see some progress. All right, yo. Peace.